Tonight on KGW News, a bombshell criminal indictment of the Trailblazers head coach.
This is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years.
The rigged machines, hidden cameras, and mob connections at the center of accusations against Chauncey Billups.
I don't think we're going to see him coaching the Blazers ever again.
Plus, the one Blazers game prosecutors say was fixed to help gamblers cash in.
Well, this is a situation that I think everyone who follows this was waiting for it to happen.
Then, the commander of Oregon's National Guard has a message for Portlanders.
And they're your friends and neighbors, they're coaches, nurses.
As a judge could decide tomorrow if they can be deployed. Plus,
an atmospheric river arrives tomorrow for a lot of rain and some wind, then stronger winds arrive on Saturday as the rain continues.
Good evening, everyone. We begin tonight with the news that shocked Rip City and basketball fans nationwide, with Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups and more than 30 others arrested and indicted in an FBI probe into illegal gambling.
Your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out.
Billups appeared in federal court this afternoon, accused of taking part in rigged poker games connected to organized crime. Games that investigators say used high-tech tools to dupe players out of their money. Tonight, he's been suspended by the NBA with his arraignment scheduled for just before Thanksgiving. And while he is out of custody, Billups has surrendered his passport, has had to post a substantial bond, and has been banned from gambling. We have team coverage tonight, including what is next for the Blazers and a look at the murky world of sports betting. But first, our Evan Watson was in court and starts us off with a look at the charges.
Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups is accused of participating in rigged poker games. He faces federal charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering, which law enforcement officials announced in New York on Thursday morning.
These defendants, which include former professional athletes, used high-tech cheating technology to steal millions of dollars from victims in underground poker games that were secretly fixed.
The indictment alleges Billups played in rigged poker games in Las Vegas in 2019, where other players lost at least $50,000.
Victims were attracted to play alongside well-known professional athletes and coaches like Chauncey Billups, only to be unknowingly deceived through rigged shuffling machines, fixing the odds in their favor, as alleged.
Officers arrested Billups Thursday morning. The poker games are connected to the Italian mafia, according to prosecutors and investigators.
They used custom shuffling machines that could read the order of cards, barcoded decks, and hidden cameras built into tables and light fixtures.
The NBA placed Billups on leave. He didn't say anything in his first court appearance on Thursday.
Evan Watson there. This evening, in a statement to ESPN, Billups' attorney said, quote, "To believe that Chauncey Billups did what the federal government is accusing him of is to believe that he would risk his Hall of Fame legacy, his reputation, and his freedom. He would not jeopardize those things for anything, let alone a card game." By the way, there is a second indictment where an unnamed coach who matches Billups' bio is accused of tipping off sports gamblers. The indictment references co-conspirator 8, described as an NBA player from 1997 through 2014, and an NBA coach since at least 2021. Now, that timeline perfectly matches Billups. Prosecutors allege the coach told a gambler before a 2023 Blazers game the team would intentionally lose to secure a better draft pick. The indictment also claims the coach said several key players would not play. This was before the information was public. Prosecutors allege the gamblers then placed successful wagers on the Blazers losing by a large margin. A former FBI agent telling KGW he believes the co-conspirator is Billups, but there is a reason prosecutors are not naming him.
There's a card that's being played here. It just hasn't been played yet. It's my belief that there's some kind of plea deal in the offing, that maybe the details haven't been nailed down, and this is a piece of leverage in that case, that he hasn't been outright indicted in that case at this point.
Well, Billups' attorney today also addressed the second indictment, saying Billups would never gamble on basketball games or provide insider information. All right, I want to bring in Catherine Cook now live at Moda. Catherine, we'll talk about what's next for the Blazers in just a moment. I mean, their next game is in less than 24 hours. But first, let's talk about Chauncey Billups, because this is not the first time in his career he's faced some sort of controversy.
No, David, bringing Billups to Portland in the first place was a controversy in itself because of a rape allegation. Chauncey Billups is originally from Denver. He has a wife and 3 kids. And if you ask critics, a 0% chance of ever coming back as the Blazers coach. His nickname? Mr. Big Shot. Hall of Famer and 5-time All-Star Chauncey Billups earned it while playing 17 years in the NBA on 7 teams. That included 2 stints with the Nuggets and an NBA title with the Pistons before retiring in 2014. Away from the court, Billups gained notoriety during a 1997 sex assault scandal. The case followed him, but did not prevent him from entering his second NBA chapter as a coach. The Portland Trail Blazers hired Billups as their head coach in 2021. It was then that his assault allegations resurfaced. During his rookie season with Boston, an unidentified woman accused Billups and other NBA players of rape. Billups denied the allegations, claiming their sexual interactions had been consensual. Billups was never charged and 3 years later settled out of court with his accuser. Despite public backlash, former Trailblazers GM Neil Olshey was bullish on Billups and determined to hire him. The team commissioned an independent investigation but kept any findings confidential. In their own investigation, OPB learned that the Blazers never contacted Billups' accuser during their hiring process. In this now fabled introductory press conference, Olshey obstinately chugs water and gives side-eye to reporters who pressed Billups for more before getting cut off by a team employee.
You said the 1997 incident shaped you in unbelievable ways. Can you maybe elaborate on that and how it helped shape you?
Jason, we appreciate your question. We've addressed this. It's been asked and answered, so happy to move on to the next question here.
Billups himself addressed the allegations and how they shaped him.
Every decision has consequences, and that's led to some really, really healthy but tough conversations that I've had to have with my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time in 1997, and my daughters about what actually happened.
A life once again reshaped amid new accusations. Today, U.S. Attorney Joseph Nosilla told defendants, including Billups, quote, "Your winning streak has ended." The Blazers, meanwhile, hope to start a winning streak here at Moda Center tomorrow night without Billups. David, back to you.
Yeah, things have changed in a very big way. Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate it.
It's shocking, I think, how wide-ranging it is. Billups being a Hall of Fame basketball player, first and foremost, I imagine that, aside from probably losing his coaching gig, he'll be banned from the NBA.
Well, just a sample of the sentiment we heard today as the news made its way through the Rose City. A big blow for those who are hoping Rip City was finally on the upswing. Orlando Sanchez takes a look at what's to come.
Literally hours after the Portland Trail Blazers season opener, the news sending shockwaves through Rip City and the entire NBA. The league placing Chauncey Billups on immediate leave. The Portland Trail Blazers releasing a statement saying they're aware of the allegations involving Billups and fully cooperating with the investigation. Longtime sports columnist John Canzano says Billups has coached his last game with the Blazers.
But I think that this is going to be a lingering, ongoing distraction for the organization. And unfortunately, the sale of the team, breath of fresh air, all these young players, the return of Damian Lillard, all of that clouded by what Chauncey Billups has brought into the room here.
Tiago Splitter will take over interim head coach duties. He joined Billups' coaching staff in June. Splitter has been an assistant coach in the NBA with stops in Brooklyn and Houston. Most recently, though, he was a head coach of the Paris Basketball Club. Now he's tasked with putting the Blazers back on track. And while the Blazers canceled Thursday's media availability, we should expect to hear from the team Friday as they host the Warriors at the Moda Center. Orlando Sanchez, KGW Sports.
Well, team coverage continues now with Alma McCarty. Alma, you took a closer look at the world of sports betting, and it sounds like some experts are not surprised.
David, as long as there's been sports betting. But following its legalization and with the rise of mobile sports books and prop bets, those I spoke with say it wasn't a case of if, but when someone from a team was accused of getting involved.
Once confined to a Vegas casino, sportsbooks have spread.
It wasn't legal in all the states until more recently, and so About 6 years ago, we start to see that broaden.
A Supreme Court decision changing the game.
That opened the door for states to legalize various forms of sports betting, casino-type betting, mobile-type betting.
And the cash, experts say, has been rolling in ever since. Here's Mark Conrad, a professor of law and ethics in this field at Fordham University.
Lots of money is being bet. Lots of money is coming into states. Certain monies are coming into the sports betting companies. And of course, the sports leagues and teams are also profiting from this.
More money, more gambling opportunity, and more of a chance for players or coaches to potentially sway the outcomes.
You just need the wrong negative element to get involved, and all of a sudden you start to see this pressure being applied to these athletes.
David Weber with University of Oregon Law says more obvious schemes that may have come up in the past, like players throwing games, have changed to more minor manipulations.
Now we have this rise of a bet called a prop bet, and a prop bet is more of a side bet rather than who's going to win or lose. It might be who is going to have the first foul, or who's going to get a yellow card, or who might be under in terms of point totals, rebound totals, etc. And those can be fun, but they're also much more easy to manipulate if you're a player.
While the NBA and other leagues have systems in place to monitor gambling, Weber believes they'll hand down harsher punishments to deter this activity.
I think that the more we start to see this, the more the leagues are going to be very worried that their product is a real product, that it is, in fact, a competitive game and the outcome is undetermined. So I think we're going to start to see the leagues start to impose draconian measures in terms of significant penalties.
And according to the American Gaming Association, through the third quarter of this year, legal sports betting generated $10 billion in revenue, up from about 19% from the same time last year. David?
Yeah, it feels like a jaw-dropping number, doesn't it? Alma McCarty in the newsroom. Thanks, Alma. All right, let's shift gears to our weather impact alert now as we take a live look outside on this Thursday night. The calm before the storm, so to speak, with an atmospheric river now inbound. Matt, it sounds like this is going to mean a lot of rain.
It will be a lot of rain, and we got a couple of stormy days to get through before things settle down. But, you know, it is that time of year, late October, when we expect to see the storms really pick up both in frequency and in intensity. And here's one that's going to be fairly intense for us tomorrow, just off the coast. We're not really getting any rain yet, but we will probably see it begin during the morning commute tomorrow. So we might get through the early part of the commute without any rain at all, and then the rain will gradually ramp up. It won't be immediately heavy. So we may end up being okay for the morning commute. But it is going to get breezy on Friday afternoon, and the rain will get heavy at times. Then on Saturday, probably less rain but stronger winds. So you make sure you're ready to drive carefully, secure any loose objects out there. If you have any storm drains around your house that may be clogged by summer debris, leaves, branches, whatever, maybe clear those out as well. So we could get some flooding around low-lying intersections, that type of thing. There is a high surf advisory on the Long Beach Peninsula and points north on the Washington coast, and a beach hazard statement again for sneaker waves on the Oregon coast. But look, there's a high wind warning already up for Saturday for Tillamook, Lincoln, and Lane counties on the Oregon coast, and a high surf advisory too. Now the winds upwards of 40 miles an hour tomorrow on the coast, about 30 miles an hour in the valley. We'll show you what they'll be on Saturday in a bit, David.
Yeah, lots to keep an eye on. Thanks, Matt. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, Alaska Airlines is working to get flights back up and running after an IT outage this afternoon forced a ground stop across the country. The airline says some flights have been delayed or outright canceled today and tomorrow, with a flexible travel policy now in place. At PDX, 6 Alaska flights were canceled this evening, with many more delayed. Alaska notes this is not a cyber attack or related to other outages. Be sure to check on your flight status before you head to the airport. Hawaiian Airlines flights, by the way, are not affected. A judge has found a man who stabbed another rider to death on a Portland Max train last year guilty except for insanity. 52-year-old Shondell Larkin killed Mike Brady in March of 2024 while Brady was on his way home from work. The judge ruled that Larkin was suffering from psychological delusions at the time. He will likely spend the rest of his life in the state hospital. Brady's family called the sentence bittersweet. And former House Republican leader Christine Drazan has now been appointed to the Oregon State Senate. She will fill the seat vacated by former Senator Daniel Bonham, who is off to join the Labor Department in the Trump administration. Drazan was appointed to the Senate by commissioners from the counties in that district and will serve the remainder of Bonham's term. It ends in January of 2027.